What's up, family? It's Chris, and you're watching Bad Eyesight TV. I have my dad with me again today.
The coach of all coaches.
And you guys already know the deal. It's been a year, right? Into it. You guys were commenting a lot. Like, it's been for a while. First, I watched this movie, Once Were Warriors, and we were going to do that. But we had other movies to watch, and we were trying to watch one movie every week. So if you guys have any more suggestions, you can comment it down in the comment section below, and we will get to it. But this is about Once Were Warriors. So first, you already know, we're going to do the thumbnail. Alright.
We're going to do the thumbnail.
Yeah. Okay. Now, we're going to get into what we thought about the movie. But before we do, you guys already know the deal. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Hit that notification bell to get a notification when I upload. And subscribe to join the family.
But as always, the coach will tell you, financially, he will not take care of you. But
he will give you good advice. Now let's talk about it. Well, the movie was, what's the word? Teach you a lesson, I guess. Like, it was a lot going on in the movie at one time. A boy getting taken away by services because the family couldn't they say he wasn't taking good care of him. A husband beating on his wife. The daughter. It was just a lot.
You ready? Oh, I'm ready.
You can go ahead and say what you have to say, because I know what part I want to get to.
I thought the movie was excellent. I would recommend this for everybody to watch this movie, because like my daughter said, there was a lot of lessons in this movie. This movie was fantastic. It touched on a lot of bases that it depends on what age you are, is what you got out of it. So the older you are, the more you would see going on with this movie. She didn't see as much going on as I did, because this movie is excellent. I would recommend it. I would recommend it for parents to watch with their daughters and their sons, and explain some things that's going on in the movie that they may not see. I first saw the man as a domineering parent, where he didn't care what the kids thought. He didn't listen to his wife. He was the one and only voice in the house. But what men have to understand is, we might be the one voice in the house, but we spend the least amount of time in the house. So mama knows a lot more that's going on in the house than we do. So we have to understand that we might be head of household, but mama is in charge. Mama's in charge. She's in charge of them, and she's in charge of you. Okay, so my daughter was very disturbed at a lot she saw. If I wasn't there, she probably would have looked away. I said, don't look away. This is a learning lesson that you have to, instead of looking away, help, lend a hand to save. Let's just say, okay, the man beat his wife. He beat his wife like he was fighting a guy in the streets. And that showed me that he didn't love her. He didn't love her at all, you know. But going back in time with my parents, that happened. You know, that happened with them. A lot of physical abuse. And I tell my daughters, I got two of them, that if a man is beating on you, he doesn't love you. It's not, oh, he's going to do it just this one time. It's not, oh, I just lost my temper. If a man is beating you like you're some guy in the streets, he has no love for you. He has no love for you. You know, and I asked my mom, why did she stay when she was getting hit like that? She said, because she stayed for us. She said, I stayed for y'all to make sure y'all was being taken care of. I just had to put up with that until y'all were old enough. And I said, that's a horrible life. And that's why I stress with my daughters, get an education, get a career. Because this guy acting up, you take them babies, and you get them out of there because you're harming them, seeing their mother being subjected to that. You're harming them as well. Okay, the next thing going on.
Wait, can I talk about
that? Go ahead.
I was okay with the man when we were watching it. But then when he got to that part when he was being his wife, I was like, okay, I don't like him now. And the movie's over and I'm done watching it because that was just too much for him to be beating her like that. And then the next morning when she woke up and she was just looking terrible. And then he got a nerve talking about something. You're making me sick looking at you. Like, you the one did it. She ain't wake up like that and decide she want to be like that. You did it. And then he almost like tried to swing on her. And I'm like, that's doing
in front of the daughter.
Yeah, and the daughter was still holding each other.
Right. And a lot of times men will have to admit this, that kids gravitate towards mom more because mom's there with them most of the time for most of their things. I'm not going to say because we're out working. We're doing whatever. Even in my household, mama spent more time with them. I did a lot of coaching. I did a lot of training. I spent a lot of time with them, but I'm sure mom spent more. You know, I had to go to work, and mom stayed, and she took them to school and whatever. But let's go to the next thing that happened. He had no involvement with his home life, so his kids were left to do whatever. When you're the man of the household, you got to be involved in those kids' lives, or they're gonna choose and do whatever they need to do, or they think to do, instead of you being there to guide them. You know, I got two sons, one 15 and one 20. And I'm trying to be there to help them decide what they want to do. You know, like the one boy, he joined a gang.
Yeah,
he got his face all tattooed because he felt...
That's his family.
Yeah, that's his family, not his family at the house. He loved his mama, but he hated his daddy. He despised his daddy because his daddy ruled with fear, not with love. See, there's a big difference between fear and love. You know, when the last time you told them he loved them? When the last time? Doesn't make a kid soft because you say that. Doesn't make him soft at all. So like I was saying, the boy joined the gang, and because he felt, you know, he needed that when he really didn't. He needed his dad. His dad wasn't there. Okay, so next thing, the other kid got taken away by child services, and he was actually the lucky one. Because he actually went somewhere and learned respect. He learned tradition. He learned how to be a warrior on the inside. You ain't got to walk the streets and beat everybody up because you can't beat the world. You can't beat the world.
Yeah, like at the end of the movie, when the brother had his face at it, he was like, "Oh, nice," and he was like, "You want some, mate?" And he's like, "No, I'd rather wear mine inside." Because he wears his pride on him on the outside, but he said he has his inside.
He has his pride at the inside, and they show. I actually got to understand a little bit of what Haka was. I actually knew that that's actually a way of life. You know, when the little boy, when he felt any kind of emotion, he was able to bring it out during the Haka and actually get control of himself to where he was manageable instead of being destructive and tearing up everything. He learned how to embrace and love life. Life is as hard as you make it most of the time. You know, when my kids were little, I told them there's two roads. It's the hard road, and there's the easy road. The easy road is the road with your parents guiding you. Hard road, you go on yourself. Go on that journey by yourself. You know, and you decide because, you know, parents have a lot of wisdom. And he had no control of his house. So third thing, he bringing all these people around his growing daughters.
And it's just his family in general, with them passing out drunk in the house and doing whatever they want. And the kids are sitting here like, how are we going to go to sleep? And they got this loud music on because they like, oh, go to bed.
And then the guy ends up raping the 13-year-old daughter and hanging out with the daddy, smoking and drinking like nothing happened. Sneaks in the girl's room and rapes her. And she's 13 years old. So I've always known early, I don't bring my guy friends. I got 2 daughters. I don't bring my guy friends around my house. I don't want them getting comfortable with my daughters, and don't want my daughters getting comfortable with them. My daughter can't even name friends I have because I don't bring them around. You know what I mean? Because I learned that early on. My dad told me early on, don't bring guys around your house because they get comfortable with your wife. They get comfortable, and your wife get comfortable with them, and then all of a sudden, not saying you can't trust your wife, but you don't need aggravations like guys snooping around your girls, your daughters or your wife or whatever. You don't need that kind of aggravation, and I don't know what. First of all, Jake was a maniac. So if I'm his friend, I'm definitely not going to rape his daughter because I know that's a death sentence if he finds out.
To be honest, that man crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Jake was going to kill me if he found out. So that's number one. Number two, rape is bad on any level. No is no. You ain't having sex with people passed out, you go to jail for that. So it was a lot going on with that movie. I would highly recommend it for parents to watch with their kids, to explain. I was able to explain a lot to my daughter while the movie was going on, but not really talk over it too much because I wanted her to ingest the whole movie. I really enjoyed it. And at the end, the woman, she stood up for herself.
Yeah, I like the end.
And she says, you're not gonna push me around and punch me and beat me up and hurt my babies. That's the ultimate thing that women will do. Women will die for their kids. They will. And if you love that woman, you need to understand that. Don't stand in the way of that woman and her babies. You're the man. You should be protecting her and her babies, not hurting her and her babies. Like it was a scene where the girl came home and the daddy wanted her to kiss the rapist, but he didn't know he was a rapist at the time, and she said no. And he grabbed her, and he was about to beat her down, and one of the guys jumped in and says, hey, that's your daughter. It's your baby.
But what she got to kiss him for?
And he snapped out of it. But it's so much of, I'm the boss of the house. What I say go, that's a lot of times, as men, we overlook the small stuff. The really small stuff like, we got to have respect for the kids as well. I don't want her growing up thinking that, it's 100% this and it's this and it's that. I've talked to her since she was that little, and she understands that conversation is the order of how things go. You talk it over, and even if you disagree, there's some things you can agree on, and you go from there. And she knows that if some guy is hitting her, he doesn't love her. He doesn't love her. She knows that. And that's the job of a father, to sit with the daughter. That's why when she asked me to come on and help her with this, that's my job, to help her where she needs help at. And that's what I'm doing. But I would recommend this movie. I would highly. It was great. You got anything?
And like the thing is like some parents, they could like lead their kids to commit suicide.
Oh, that was another thing.
Yeah, you forgot about that part. It's like if your child is feeling something and like how you can like make it worse, like you could just make them snap. Like she was just like okay, and then when he got all physical with her and was holding her down
and showed her no respect and no love,
and she already was feeling, because if you get raped, it's like
she was feeling vulnerable. She was feeling taken advantage of. Mm-hmm. And the one person that should have protected her
dad
is sitting here having beers and smokes with the guy who harmed her.
Right. So, and that's what just set her off, and she was like, okay, well, My dad ain't sticking for me.
I got nothing to live for. And also, let me just add this. She saw what her mama was going through, and she did not want to grow up in that society. She did not want to go through that. That's why she said, all of y'all are ugly. You guys are nasty. Not that your look is ugly. Your actions are ugly. The way you treat women is ugly, is what she was saying. So kids in general, not only women, little girls, but kids in general, a lot of times they need somebody to talk to. And that's why we came up with Ask the Coach. It's a segment on here that we can text you back. If you want to have a dialogue with us, we can text you back if you are having problems. The last thing you want to do is commit suicide. There are people out there that will help you. And we're two of them. She may be 17, but she's been around the coach a long time, and she's heard a lot of rhetoric. She's heard a lot of talking. And life is not as tough as you make it. It's that one little thing that can change and make your whole life worth living. So suicide is always the last thing you should do. You know what I mean? First thing you should do is try to talk to a parent, no matter what it is. No matter what it is, you can't be embarrassed to talk to a parent. You know what I mean? You can't be embarrassed. You can't be I'm being bullied. Talk to somebody. Because I guarantee you, if you text us and say, because my daughter go through the comments every day. If you want us to text you directly back, we will text you directly back. We don't have to put it on the air. That's not what we are trying to do. We're trying to help people.
Oh, wait. I saw in the comment section somebody yesterday, they were saying they needed to talk to us. So if you want to talk to us, just go to my social media down in the description below and either text me on this Instagram or Snapchat, because I don't think you would want us talking in the comment section back to you.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I see what you're saying. So we're gonna have to set up where just you and us can see what we're talking about, because your privacy is worth it. Now, hashtag Ask the Coach, and then we'll divert you to a different site, a different where we could either text. You can either text us on our email,
Instagram, Snapchat. If you don't have it, then
well, go ahead and say what it is.
It's in the description down below.
Okay, it's in
my Instagram is at retro.chris. My Snapchat is at a.chris. But it's down in the description below, so you can know how to spell it.
Right. So we're here. We're here to make this a family atmosphere. We're here to critique movies, to have fun, but to be here. Like I said, I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I teach. I got a lot of experience, a lot of life experience, and I want to share that. So if you're feeling any type of way, you can contact us. I'm going to find a way for you guys to contact me. Me and my daughter, we're going to go through something to where you can ask the coach directly, because I'm here to help, and suicide is bullying, drugs, sex, what else? What else is there? Parents abusing you, you giving in to peer pressure, stuff like that. You can text the coach, ask the coach. We're gonna be here. That movie was great. I really enjoyed it. I did not see that coming. I was like, and then when he started slugging, I was like, okay.
Me too. I'm like, what is this movie gonna be about?
Right.
Because I kind of knew about Wolf Creek because we watched the trailer, and I knew about Chopper because we watched this interview. But this one we didn't know nothing about.
We didn't see it coming.
What's going on here?
It was better than both of those movies she just mentioned. I enjoyed this movie because it will invoke conversation. And a lot of that movie came out in '94.
Yeah.
So what I want to say is a lot of the reason why Americans changed a lot of their laws where men cannot just beat their women and kids like that is because of stuff like that. Where some men are just cowards and they're idiots, and they feel that, okay, well, I can beat you up, so I'm going to do that. My daughter will tell you, what's the one thing I never did with you is put a belt on you, correct? Because that's a form of bullying to me. If I can't talk to this child and we can't come to some understanding where she got enough respect for me to say, Kristen, here's what I need you to do, and for her to do it, if she does not have that respect for me, then, I didn't do my job. Because when you don't know how to hold a dialect, that's when you use your fist and guns. Dialogue. When you cannot hold dialogue, going back and forth between you and somebody else, that's when you use your fist and guns. If you know how to talk to people, you can talk your way out of a lot of things if you know how to conversate. You know what I mean? And I know how to talk. I know how to conversate. And I de-escalated a lot of situations because I know how to talk to people and let them understand that what you're doing don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? You want to use violence, because they've never been talked to themselves. They've only been beaten on. They've only been thrown in a room. Oh, Daddy, why you want me to do this? Because I said so. Instead of constructively telling this child, this is why we do things. This is how we do it. This is when we do it. I've always been that type of guy to give you information. So like I say, suicide is the last result. No result at all. Get help. Call the coach. I'm here. She's here. We're here to help.
I don't keep punching me. Go like that. All right, and I'm gonna be like this. Wait, do it. All right, got
I shouldn't be smiling though.
All right, go on. All right.
Okay, but listen. Yeah, all jokes aside, we're serious about this. Great movie. Parents, watch it with your kids and explain to them what's going on. Men, there should never be a dictatorship where men are just beating on women and beating on kids, and kids are just trying to get out of the house. That's why a lot of little girls end up pregnant, because they don't want to be at the house, and they can't talk to the parents, so they hang out drinking and drugging, and then pretty soon sex come in and they're pregnant, and then your whole life changed. And if you think your parents were bastards then, they're going to be even worse once you bring a baby. Or you bring a disease, because it's out there. Okay, so.
This is the end of the video, guys. Like Coach said, watch the movie by yourself. Ask the coach.
Not really by yourself.
I mean, what?
Go ahead.
Watch the movie with your parents, or if you're a parent, watch with your kids. Right. That's what I meant to say.
Right.
This is the video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Comment down below what you guys want to see next. Hit that notification button to get a notification when I upload. And subscribe to join the family.
But as always, financially, the coach would not take care of you. But
he will give you good advice. See you guys in the next video.